Join Scotty G and the coach today from 10 to 2 at Tim Dahle Mazda, 10785 South Auto Mall Drive in Sandy. Social media can be a total cesspool, PK, but there's just enough stuff there to remind you what it could be, what it used to be. Reaction to people watching the Field of Dreams game in Iowa. Matt with the great movie quote, "People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't fathom." Of course, we don't mind if you look around. You'll say it's only $4,000 a person on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Major League Baseball.
Never forget, we turned a fantasy father-son, son-father into a money-making proposition.
Nice. Matt Carey at Real Matt Carey, you're funny.
People will come, Ray. Of course we don't mind if you look around. You got to get the financial thing in there.
It's only $4,000 a person on SeatGeek. And he even put the TM next to SeatGeek. Nice. Bravo, bravo. Well done, Matt. And now he's got a bunch of people champing in McPherson. People will come, Ray. They'll have to stream the game on Netflix and search high and low to find the game, but eventually they will come. What streamer was that on? I just picture some dude bouncing around. Is it Apple? No. Is it Amazon? No. All right, I'll go try Netflix. Find the game in the second inning.
And then I saw Schwarber hits the first home run on Netflix. And so they had a graphic of like who hit the first run when the game was on ESPN, who hit the first run,
the first home run,
and when it was on Amazon, and all the different when it was on TBS, and all the different outlets that they've had over the years. And Schwarber gets the category of first home run on Netflix in a real game. Obviously, the home run derby, but that doesn't count. So, yeah, man. It's quaint. It's charming. Roger Clemens and his son Cody, who's in the big leagues, playing catch after the game because he plays for the Phillies. And hey, Dad, you want to have a catch? Buxton, who plays for the Twins, probably their best player, he's having a catch. And if you want to have a catch, it'll cost you $4,000.
Lots of people commenting on Shoeless Joe walking out of the corn so he can see FanDuel ads in the outfield.
Oh, that was, yeah.
That was all over.
The story about a guy who's getting redemption for a gambling episode is...
The irony is just too good. All right, DJ PK, we're joined by David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz. David, good morning.
Really your favorite, isn't it, DJ? That's truly your favorite. Like when something like that happens and you see it and you get to just kind of point it out, like that underlying story, that just makes you so happy. I can feel it, DJ.
It really does.
That's what makes you the happiest.
It really
does. The question really is, what makes PK the happiest? What's the equivalent that makes PK as equally happy as David James does when he sees that thing that has a little intellectual element to it, and he can say, see, look at the irony there.
Well, I did point it out. I found the did you hear the first one?
I don't think David heard the start of this because I think he was on the phone with Jake.
Give him the first
this guy, Matt Carey, at Real Matt Carey on Twitter. People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't fathom. Of course, we don't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $4,000 a person on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Major League Baseball. James Earl Jones would love that.
Well, in this day and age, you can go have James Earl Jones do it.
Oh, the late great man. He would have. I think if you told him to go back there and reshoot that scene just for a laugh, he might have done it.
That's funny.
Well,
Awesome.
it's all in the quest for the dollar. I mean, we see it in stadiums that we're just shocked, and it's abhorrent, the fan behavior. Meanwhile, you can only buy 4 beers at one time. I mean, for $18. I mean, if you don't want that, stop selling that. But they won't. You got to make the money.
Oh no, I mean, but all of it. I mean, I don't know. It's never not been that, though. I think it's worth, right? Like, I don't know that I think it's actually any more of that than it ever was, right? Like,
right.
No, you can go.
The Cincinnati Reds didn't put games on television because they thought it was going to cost. At one point in time, they thought it was going to cost them money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So it has never been anything other than a profit industry. The numbers are bigger. The mechanisms are bigger. It's just it's different, but I don't think, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's different. It's got different, it feels it, but I'm not sure I buy that it really is.
David Locke, radio voice of the Jazz, joining us. What did you think when you heard the Lakers were sold? PK's got a little background, talked to some of the people he knows in L.A., a little stories emerging. I'm curious what you thought and what you heard and what you know.
I think, I don't know if you saw the thing today, we'll travel the most of any team that's not going overseas. You see that?
I did not.
We'll travel 49,000 miles, which is the most of any team in the NBA that is not going to Paris. So San Antonio and New Orleans travel more, but they're going to Paris. I think that's because we have more plane flights than I've ever seen us have. I think we have between 13 and 15 single game road trips. So if you just think about it, like if you go on a 4-game road trip, you take 5 plane flights. If you go on a 1-game road trip, you take 2. And so 13 times at least, and maybe 15 if I remember correctly, but I'll go with 13. We go out for a single game and back. Now, the good news is twice those are Oklahoma City on the back end of a back-to-back, so we actually spend the fewest minutes possible in Oklahoma City all year, so that's pretty awesome. That's good to see on the schedule when you don't have to spend any time there. But I think, that jumped out at me. That will lead to a little bit more fatigue than before. I think the other one that jumped out to me is I really felt as though the team was going to need to have some sort of confidence boost. Like, I'm a really big believer that teams can get momentum and then just kind of win games off of it. And I felt as though we were going to need to have some sort of stretch fairly early in which we could run off a few so that the guys could feel good about themselves. It's just, we can talk about how good we think we're going to be and be hopeful to be how good we're going to be, but I don't know that there's going to be anything that lets these guys really believe it until they do it. So actually the open of the schedule is pretty great. Like if you run down, I think we're probably favored in 7 of our first 9 and maybe 9 of our first 13. And so that really gives us a chance to come out of the game and feel good about it.
DJ, PK, and David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz, joining us. The Lakers sale.
May I ask you a question?
No.
Apparently.
What has everyone's thought about the midday Sunday? What's been the reaction to that?
I haven't really heard much.
I think 7 of our 41 home games are middle of the day games. It's a lot. That's like, I can do that math. That's like 20%.
We talked about Halloween. We haven't got much reaction on that. You're right. There are a bunch of other, there's a 3:00 game with Phoenix, I think. 3:00 with San Antonio on a Sunday, a couple weeks later.
Yeah, there's 6 of them. Go look. We open the year almost every Sunday to open the season. We play at 1, 2, or 3 o'clock.
4 o'clock, rock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, rock.
Conjunction, junction, baby. What's my function?
Hooking up words and phrases and sentences.
We're so old.
I get him to answer the Laker thing.
I don't think I can. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go for it a third time. I've been rejected twice, and
well, Honey didn't say yes the first time.
oh, I know. I'm scarred by that. Trust me. It's true. She didn't.
Try again.
I'm
DJ.
just curious what you think of the Lakers sale, what you heard. PK heard some stuff. We've been wondering. It's just weird to see the Lakers treated like a starter home and then getting flipped every 10 months.
I probably don't know enough to comment on this intelligently, in the sense that one of the most interesting things I read is the tax benefit to owning these teams and how you can amortize costs and what it does for you is so incredibly valuable to these owners that actually a $2 billion profit over this time period actually doesn't make sense. I thought that was incredible, that it would have been a larger tax benefit for them to actually hold the team. That leads one to believe that the Department of Justice investigation or whatever's coming was principal to the reason why they sold. I think that seems to deductively make sense, that someone doesn't sell a franchise 10 months after they got it, unless there's something that's happened, and something happened. But I don't know it. I really don't know.
PK, tell them what you heard.
Yeah, and in my conversations with some folks down there in the LA area with my connections, still got a few, that, the guy who owns the principal guy with the
Walter,
that, he took out some loans and he took them from insurance companies to buy the Lakers. And I guess that there's some issue there and the SEC gets involved. So he's got to repay those loans. So he needs to sell the Lakers. And that Adam Silver is obviously aware of all this stuff. And the guys who bought it, the Kushner and Igor, is that how you say his name? That they were already in line to get the Vegas franchise. And since everything was already in order and they had everything what they needed, he just told them, hey, the Lakers are going to be for sale. There's a circumstance here. If you guys are interested, let us know. And they said, yeah, we're interested. And, obviously they got together with the Lakers, and the thing was done in a quick manner because the other two already had everything, all their ducks lined up to get the Vegas franchise. And then, boom, now they're just going to own the Lakers instead.
Makes sense. I mean, that lines up to, that passes the smell test, as they say.
Yeah.
It has not been a great week for NBA owners. Did you catch the Matt Ishbia Wall Street Journal story?
I did. Yeah. That his mortgage company lost $600 million or something along those lines. But I know people in Phoenix, and they were saying, well, this guy's worth so much that they don't think it's going to impact the team. I have no idea if it is or it isn't, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he made a bet on something and it didn't work. Because the question was why. The question what I've read on that one from the Wall Street Journal is, did he make the bet because he's desperate on some other things that he needed that bet to hit, and it didn't hit, and now he's in trouble.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of money to lose, no doubt about it.
Yeah. It's a different world.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Do you think the Blazers situation's getting worked out, or do you think the Portland team's going to be on the move? Bill Oram, who we all know from his time here in Salt Lake at the Tribune, he's been in L.A., he's been in Portland, he's been in plenty of NBA markets, and he's been all over the story. And I've been reading the stuff, and it seems a little doom and gloom-ish, and I'm having a little PTSD with the Chargers move. I'm seeing some similarities there. What do you think?
I mean, I could have the PTSD from the
Sonics move. So I know. That's why I'm asking you. I know.
So I think, well, the reaction I have to PK's story is, what does this do to expansion? If Iger and Kushner were lined up already for Vegas,
who's going to buy it
and
now?
now who's the Vegas owner? And does that delay? Are there that many guys lining up to own teams? Maybe. They are really expensive right now. And so does that delay the overall expansion? If that delays overall expansion, does that then play into this Portland conversation? Because one of the questions on Portland is, where would he actually move them? If Seattle and Vegas are occupied, then where do you go? Kansas City's not that appealing. And you can tell the NBA would like to go from Memphis to Nashville. I think they have Memphis playing some games in Nashville this year and doing some things like that. But I don't think they're going to put a different franchise in Nashville. There's been a great value, frankly. Jazz, Thunder, Spurs, and there's three other teams I think have gotten big city money, state and city money, to make improvements to their downtown or their arenas, and different reasons. But I'm sure having Seattle sitting as an open market didn't hurt. And so it's an interesting question of whether this delays expansion because the NBA actually likes having some of these markets open for leverage.
Maybe so. Now, this would be my only guess. I have no knowledge on this, but that Adam Silver and those folks knew that, okay, if we have this ownership transition to the Lakers, we take care of that, and we have other folks in mind for Vegas. Now, I don't know that, but my guess is they're not starting from scratch now.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if Keontae George, Darren Peterson, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, and Ace Bailey are on the floor together. Who's the best defender guarding? The worst defender guarding on the other team?
Who's hot that night, maybe?
Yeah, and also what kind of size does the other team have? Because you got players that really, are you matching up with the 6'5" guy? Are you matching up with a 7-footer? But I get your point. They got to pick their poison and who's hot. And...
But I think you've got to put your best defender on Lowry or else he'll just physically dominate you, right? And then you probably put your second best perimeter defender on Keontae because he's got the ball in his hands. So either Ace Bailey or Jaren Jackson as your least good defender?
So you think Markin is a better offensive player than Jackson?
Yes. Much, much better.
Explain, please.
Well, Jaren Jackson's been a very inconsistent offensive player in his career, and he's not a particularly efficient offensive player, and he's not a particularly good isolation player. We'll find out whether Will can unleash some things the way he did with Lowry, doing more things on the floor than he's done before. But Jaren's career has had more variability year in and year out in offensive efficiency than just about any player I can find in the NBA. He's had seasons where he's been really positive, and then he's had other seasons where he's really inefficient. Now, it does seem to really swing on it, which it shouldn't if you're 6'11", and maybe that's the biggest thing the Jazz can do is get him a consistent enough inside two-point game and having him around the rim enough with high percentage shots that he's not as reliant on the three for him to be an efficient offensive player. But if you look at his effective field goal percentage, there are not a lot of players that have that wide a gap year in and year out. And it does step largely to three-point shooting, but I don't think it should. His little push game around the basket and his hook game are fine, but they're not great. And so how do you get him more dunks, layups, opportunities like that get his overall two-point shooting percentage up so he's not as dependent on his three? Somebody just has more to shoot the three on a catch and shoot in a way that Jaren can't. Lowry can probably, we haven't seen Jaren in the system, but Lowry comes off that curl in that pin down, either curling to the basket with that one power dribble to the rack. I'm not sure Jaren has that same explosion. Neither of them are good isolation players, and neither of them pass. So that will be really interesting to see how Will Hardy, who's, if you go back to his very early days, Will Hardy, you're going to play hard, you're going to pass. Well, there are not two players who average fewer assists for the shots they take than Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he does that. Jaren's a far superior defensive player, and I would say he's probably our best player, but on pure offense, Lowry's a better offensive player.
If Jaren Jackson Jr. plays with Yusuf Nurkic, there's going to be a lot of space around the rim to get Jackson really good looks inside of 5 feet.
Why is that?
Because I think Nurkic can operate off the top of the key. I think obviously you can put Markkanen out on the 3-point line. I think they can spread the floor for him.
Now, I'm probably not guarding Nurk, though. Like, if I'm the other team, I'm just not guarding Nurk. He can go play the handoff game at the top of the key, but I'm dropping my big into the middle of the paint. And so then Nurk's either going to have to shoot an 18-footer or play a handoff game with Keontae or Darren Peterson or Ace Bailey into a mid-range game, which as the opponent I'm fine. So then the question is whether you're playing a handoff game to pull up threes, which is a hard shot on that.
All right.
I'm not sure. I think there's way more room for Jaren on the floor if he's offensively playing the 5.
Oh, I agree with that.
I don't know how
yes.
much we're going to see.
I don't know. 10 to 15 minutes of that a night where he is the 5.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do that, but it feels like that's the way the roster's lining up.
Yeah. All right, David, we got time to pick that up down the road. Thanks for joining us. That was a helter-skelter edition, even by our standards. That was something.
Well, I know what I'm talking about in the second part. I have no idea what I'm talking about in the first part, so I thought I might get us something. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, thanks, David.
See ya.
All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.